Discover endless possibilities with Amazon. From everyday essentials to the latest tech, find it all in one place. Fast delivery, unbeatable prices, and a world of choice. Amazon. Shop smart. Live easy.
Lakers, it's going to be the first time he's in a contract year. How does that affect your team building process as you not only have to take into account this year's roster, but the optionality of the team for years to come?
Yeah, I think we've talked before. The first thing we want to do in terms of LeBron and his future is just give him absolute respect to choose his story with his family in terms of how many years he's going to continue to play. He's earned that right, and he's the best one to talk about that in terms of how many years he'd like to play. But we were very intentional this summer in terms of the pieces we add with Luka and LeBron once LeBron opted in, making sure that they had the necessary pieces around them to be on a really competitive, strong team. And we built into that and for that. In terms of the future, obviously, again, with what I started your question with, first things first would be for him to be able to make the decisions he wants to in terms of how long he wants to play. We're going to continue to honor and respect that and let him speak into that.
You kind of answered that. I just want to put a point on it, though. If he was interested in extending beyond this year, are the Lakers interested in having LeBron James as part of the team?
Yeah, I think I've said before in a previous question, we would love if LeBron's story would be to retire as a Laker. That'd be a positive story.
Hello, and welcome to the Complete Podcast Network. I'm Anthony Wilson, recording from Los Angeles, California. So what you just heard was Rob Pelinka answering a question about LeBron James at the presser that Rob and JJ Redick held today ahead of Media Day on Monday and the start of training camp on Tuesday. Rob and JJ got together and talked to reporters today on Thursday. And that clip you just heard was Rob, talking about LeBron and LeBron's future. Of course, much was made about it this summer. I talked about it a lot, it's the way it's. I mean, it was good to hear that. I mean, I guess what else was we going to say, right? No, we don't want LeBron back after this season. If he wants to continue playing here, well, that's just too darn bad. He's gonna have to go play somewhere else because we're out of the LeBron business out of the season. I mean, of course he couldn't say that, right? But I mean, hopefully it was sincere. I know there was a report that LeBron wanted an extension and didn't get one, and that's why he opted into the player option. But that report came from basically, it was a guy, somebody I'd never heard of before, right? So, take that however you want to take it. But yeah, I think for both parties, that is the best possible outcome. Is that, and people pointed out that because something else Rob said was that they extended JJ Redick to double down on their commitment to him. So the double down on the commitment part, I'm not sure if that was, I think Jovan Bujas tweeted it, or I don't know if those were Rob's exact words or not. But yeah, so it's interesting that, as people pointed out, they extended Luka, they extended JJ, but then they didn't extend LeBron. And of course, Austin Reeves is still outstanding. When I say outstanding, not just an outstanding player, but his extension is still outstanding. It hasn't happened yet. So, and what I'll do now is I'll play the clip of JJ Redick talking about how Austin Reeves has been the best guy in the gym every day that he's been at the Lakers facility this summer.
Reeves, a person who has been extremely low profile every single summer, but you know he's in here every single night, every single day, and just the way he's improved his game every single season. And some things that you've seen about him, because I know a lot of times during the summer he's very low key, but I know he's been in the lab probably more than anybody too.
I mean, when he's not on the golf course. That guy shot a 65 this summer. Make sure you ask him about that on Tuesday. It's been a constant comment from our staff. He's been the best. Every day he's been in the gym, he's been the best player in the gym. But I see, again, this goes back to last May, all summer. His body is really good right now. Like, he's really strong. His burst, his athleticism, it's evident that he spent a lot of time working on his body this summer.
Yeah, so Austin Reeves, who's already improved so much since he first came into the league, I mean, it's possible that he could take another leap this year. You know, he averaged 20 points a game last year as the third option. It's hard to imagine he could take another jump, but who knows? I mean, if he's been that good, I believe that Austin has probably hit his ceiling already, based on just what his physical traits are. He's gotten a lot out of what he was, born with. But I mean, it would only be great if he could just somehow keep getting better. Something else that was said, JJ said he doesn't know what the starting lineup will be, but that they have 7 or 8 starter worthy players. But he said it's not important to him who starts or what the starting lineup is. So that will be interesting to see. We're going to talk about possibly Austin Reeves coming off the bench. I personally like the idea of obviously there's LeBron and Luka and Aiden. They're given in the starting 5. I wouldn't bring Austin Reeves off the bench. I keep Austin Reeves in there, but what I would do is I would move Rory to the bench and I would have Marcus Smart in the starting lineup. So like a 3-guard set with Luka, Smart, and Reeves, and then and LeBron at the 4 and Aiden at the 5. And then you can, you can have Rory come off the bench with Gabe Benson and Dawson Connect and Jake LaRavia. That's personally what I would do. I think you need somebody in the starting lineup like a Marcus Smart who's just there to play defense and maybe knock down some open shots, which is all we need for him to do. But I definitely like the idea of having Marcus Smart in there as just a defensive menace in a lineup that doesn't really have a singular. I mean, everybody else in the lineup is known for their offense, even LeBron at this point in his career. So I definitely that's what I would do if I were JJ. But he just got an extension, and he's the man with the plan. Even though he said he doesn't really have a plan for the starting lineup, he just pretty much likes the fact that they have 7 or 8 guys who can who can start. So yeah, man. I mean, I like this Lakers team. It'll be interesting to hear what the guys have to say on Monday at Media Day. But I'm looking forward to the season. It's just be interesting to see how it goes. Elsewhere, and this ties into LeBron and Luka. ESPN today they unveiled the top 10 on their annual NBA rank. They're ranking of the top 100 players in the league. And so Luka came in at number 3. I'll just say read the top 10. It's Joker at 1, SGA at 2, Luka at 3, Giannis at 4, Wemby at 5, Anthony Edwards at 6, Steph Curry at 7, LeBron at 8, KD at 9, and Jalen Brunson at 10. So they have Wemby all the way up at 5. Remember, the Ringer had Wemby at I think at 11 when they did theirs. I think that was one spot ahead of LeBron. I talked about that when it happened. Um, yeah, so also so these guys had ESPN had LeBron 4 spots higher at 8, and they also had the Ringer list had Luka at 4. This list has Luka at 3, so one spot ahead of Giannis. Whereas on the other list, Luka was one spot behind Giannis. So yeah, that was back in June when the Ringer did their list. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. The Luka part, I talked about that at the time. That I think he should be ahead of Giannis going forward. As Giannis is, Giannis is a super freak, so he's going to continue to put up numbers. But as far as impact on winning, I don't think he has the same type of impact on winning that he had a few years ago. Because as the game just becomes more and more of a 3-point shooting game, him not being able to shoot threes at all is just as much as I love, dominant big men who play in the paint. I mean, even Joker started shooting threes because it's just a necessity now. So, yeah, I think for sure Luka should be ahead of Giannis. Now, I know that the ESPN list is about who they think will be the best player this year. So I could definitely see why they would. Wemby going into year 3, I mean, he could average 30 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 steals. Yeah, I don't think it would surprise anybody if he did that. He's that type of talent. Yeah, and then they had LeBron 8, like I said, so 4 spots higher than the Ringer had him. But I don't know about that. I wouldn't have LeBron over Jalen Brunson. Yeah, but yeah, LeBron for sure. I mean, the top 15 is good. Top 15 is fine. Anywhere in there. Austin Reeves came in at number 60. So that's even lower than he was on the Ringer list. I think the Ringer list, I don't know, they must have had like slightly different criteria. I don't know what to tell you. 6 a whole space. I was saying, are there really 54 better players? And the Ringer thinks there's 53 better players, and then ESPN thinks there's 59 better players. So, but yeah, that's always one of those things that when this list comes out, it's something to discuss. Everybody's list is going to be different. I think the only thing we can all agree on is that Joker is the best player in the NBA, and SGA deserves to be second. But even like I said, the Ringer had Giannis third up ahead of Luka. ESPN has Luka third ahead of Giannis. I would have it the same way, but it's going to be people who dispute that. It's going to be people who think that probably, who knows? I mean, there's people who think that Curry is probably belongs ahead of Ant-Man. It's just we have players like this at this level. I mean, you can't really argue with the order you put them on. Put them in, except like I said, the top 2 for sure. Switching gears now to the NFL, we had the Seahawks facing the Cardinals tonight in Arizona on Thursday Night Football. The final score was Seahawks 23, Cardinals 20. The Seahawks led 20-6 with 9:33 left in the fourth quarter, but the Cardinals rallied to tie with 28 seconds remaining as Kyler Murray led a couple of touchdown drives. But then a penalty on the ensuing kickoff where the ball failed to reach the landing zone. It put the ball at the Seattle 40, and then from there, all it took was a 22-yard pass from Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Then Zach Charbonnet rushed for 4 yards, and then Jason Myers hit a 52-yard field goal to win the game. That was his third field goal of the game. It was a big night for USC alum. Uchenna also had 2 sacks. Leonard Williams had 1.5 sacks. They say he's playing as well as anybody in the game right now. And then, of course, Sam Darnold gets the win. He was 18 of 26 for 242 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. So he continues to just be competent. It would appear that he is not a one-year wonder, which, I must admit, that was my fear. Sam is someone I root for because I was going to the games, and even I used to go to back when USC would hold when they would have the fall camp open to the public under Clay Helton. I'm pretty sure I went and watched. I'm pretty sure Darnold was the quarterback when that quarterback then. It could have been JT Daniels though. I can't really say. Now it's been some years, but obviously I'm a USC fan. I watched him. I rooted for him, and so when he had the breakout year last year with Minnesota, no one could have been happier than I was. Besides maybe his parents and stuff. But yeah, when he did that, I was just ecstatic. And then of course there was the playoff game against the Rams where he was how do they say it the prince turned back into a frog, right? And then he signs with the Seahawks. And like I said, man, I didn't really think it was gonna work, but they're 3-1. He hasn't been spectacular, but they're 3-1. He's been competent, and they won in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, and they I forget who they played last week. I know it was a sorry team, but then tonight they're able to go in there against Arizona team that was just one. They lost by a point to San Francisco. So that's how close they were to being 3-0. And Seattle went in there, built up a lead, lost it, but then was able to come back and take care of business. And that was the Saints that the Seahawks beat last week. It was 44-13. So yeah, Sam is doing the job. Like I said last episode, as Monty Jones said, when you have a complete team, a complete roster, all I really need is for the quarterback to just be pretty good. And that's how Sam has been this year after being great last year. And yeah, like I said, man, Uchenna and Leonard and Sam and Uchenna played together at SC. So this, if Pete were still there, that would really be something. I might move to Seattle if Pete was still there, because that'd really be a USC party then. But yeah, I'm happy for Sam. And people were saying, that contract you signed, that basically, the Seahawks, they can get out from under it after the first year. But if he keeps playing like this, I know they like Jalen Milroe, who they drafted. I forget if it was the third or fourth round. And I like Jalen Milroe too. But I think if Sam Darnold keeps playing the way he's playing, and maybe Milroe has the higher upside, but I think if Sam Darnold keeps playing like he's playing, he might be in Seattle for a while. Now on the other side, like I said, Arizona was this close to being 3-0, except they were 2-1. And they come tonight, they fall down 20-6. They embark on a furious rally. They tie the game, and they lose on the field goal at the end of regulation. So now they're 2-2. And Marvin Harrison, is it junior or Marvin Harrison the second? I forget. But yeah, Marvin Harrison's son from Ohio State, who was one of the most hyped receiver prospects to ever come in the draft a year ago. He was under a lot of fire coming in, into the night's game after a slow start to the season. I think he only had 142 yards through 3 games to start the year. And people were calling him a bust and stuff like that, calling him a fraud. Because everybody thought he would be the next big time 1A receiver in the NFL, and it hadn't really happened yet. But he's still so young, and he wasn't bad last year. Last year he had 62 catches for 885 yards and 8 touchdowns. So now he picked the whole first half. Kirk Herbstreit was talking about how bad he looked. He runs his routes. It seems like he's hurt, like he's just not there mentally, like his confidence is shot. But he played well in the second half and caught a touchdown pass. That's 2 touchdown catches on the year. So that's 6 catches for 66 yards that he had last night in the touchdown catch. And I just think people are they jump ship too early. He's written off too early. It's not like he's playing with Joe Burrow or somebody like that, somebody who's going to help you, put up huge numbers. He's playing with a little 5'9", whatever Kyler Murray is, quarterback. Murray is good, but he's never thrown for 4,000 yards before, you know. So he's not really the guy who's going to. It's like the quarterback needs the receiver, but the receiver also needs the quarterback. Kyler Murray is somebody who wins by doing Kyler. I mean, I don't say wins, but the way Kyler Murray plays the position is kind of unique, at his size. So it may take I don't know what the goal is for Arizona. With Kyler Murray, he's been there a while now. He's 28 years old. They haven't won anything since he's been there. They seem destined to always be a team that wins 7 to 10 games. I don't know. I just don't know what how long this is. I mean, it's like he's good, and if you have a good quarterback, you want to hold on to him. But is he good enough at his size? No quarterback his size has ever really done it. Like they list him at 5'10". I see it. I'm looking at it here. They list him at 5'10". They listed Drew Brees at 6 foot, 6'1", something like that. He won a Super Bowl, but there really hasn't been. It's small quarterbacks who are good, who come in the league and make Pro Bowls and do different things. But normally, if you're not at least 6'2" or 6'3", you're probably not gonna win a Super Bowl. You need a little bit of size, at least a little bit of size on you, So, it's like Russell Wilson was small. He was only listed at he was listed at 5'11", but he looked bigger than. I mean, Kyler Murray probably really like 5'9" or something like that. I mean, Russell Wilson never looked as small as Kyler Murray looks. So Wilson is listed at 5'11", 206 pounds, and Kyler Murray to be listed at 5'10", and let me check it. Let me look again and see the weight. 5'10" and 207? But come on, man, those two guys don't look the same size on the field. They're fudging Kyler Murray's dimensions, bro. Yeah, man. I don't know, but I just don't know what they're gonna do. It's like he's the ultimate. It's like he's good, but it doesn't seem like you can win anything with him. So it's like, what's the saying? A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush, or however you say that thing. It's like if you already have a good quarterback, would you risk losing him to draft a quarterback who you don't know if you don't really know if he's going to be good or not? And quarterback is like the hardest position to predict if they're going to be good or not in the NFL. It's just something for the Cardinals to think about, He's weird because he's literally right, or he's just good enough that he probably always going to be content, happy to have him, because you know how bad it can be when you don't have a good quarterback. But at his size, if he was 6'3", or something like that, it'd be a different story. Right, but at his size, he's like a little Doug Flutie out there, and he's better than Doug Flutie ever was. But the Cardinals, they haven't won anything, like I said, since he's been there. So yeah, man, that's that's that. Now switching gears again to baseball as the season nears a close. Um, the Dodgers clinched the NL West tonight. Shohei Ohtani hit his 54th home run. So it's good they won the division again, but they're going to be in a wild card game. And I think the MLB wild card is so stupid. But yeah, at least they won the division. You know, meanwhile in the AL, Aaron Judge has hit 50 home runs now for the fourth season, and second in a row. He had 58 last year. But I just wanted to quickly, because he's such a great player, and it's sad because, number one, they haven't won anything since he's been there. So it's sort of like, you expect the best player on the Yankees to have a player like this, Aaron Judge, historically. Other than when they had Don Mattingly, any other time they had a player like that, they were winning World Series in multiples, whether it was Ruth and Garrick or Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Reggie Jackson, Derek Jeter. You can go on and on and on. But they haven't won anything. And then of course, this is not Aaron Judge's fault they haven't won anything, but I'm just saying. And then also, and even if they won, like, they could win 3 straight. Like Jeter won in the 90s, 2000 being the last one, won 4 out of 5. The baseball just isn't like that anymore. So it's unfortunate because Judge is such a great player, and he's worthy of the type of fame that those guys I just named, who were the kings of New York, he's worthy of that type of attention, that type of notoriety in the Big Apple. But because they don't win, and because baseball isn't as big as it used to be, it just will never happen. Like I said, even if they say win the World Series this year, like it's impossible to think of Aaron. And of course, social media hurts too because there's like no more mystique. But it just sucks because if he played in a different era, they still have to win. But yeah, I mean, he's worthy of that type of praise and fame. And he's easily one of the 10 greatest hitters in Yankees history. And I'll just name the 10 that I have here. So it'll be obviously Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra, Derek Jeter, Reggie Jackson, Don Mattingly, Alex Rodriguez, and Aaron Judge. And they're not in order. I didn't put them in order. Because obviously Ruth is 1 and Gehrig is 2. And I would say Mickey Mantle is 3. George is 4th all time and Yankees home runs behind those 3. It would be Ruth, Mantle, and then Gehrig. And he passed Yogi Berra. Judge did it for 4th. But it's kind of too hard to rank. For sure, Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle, DiMaggio. That's the top 4. But then Yogi Berra, Derek Jeter, Reggie Jackson, Don Mattingly. A-Rod would probably be 10th. So if A-Rod is 10th, you have Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle, and DiMaggio. That's the top 4. That means then you have to rank Yogi Berra, Derek Jeter, Reggie Jackson, Aaron Judge, and Don Mattingly. I think Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame. His best years were so good that I believe that he had, but of course baseball doesn't work like that. Baseball is about the totality of your career. But also like somebody like Kirby Puckett. If Kirby Puckett is in, why is maybe because Kirby Puckett passed away. But when did Kirby Puckett pass away? I forget. Yeah. But yeah, he's I think Malley should be in the Hall of Fame because he was so great while he was great. But yeah, to rank those guys, Berra, Jeter, Jackson, Judge, and Mattingly. Judge actually, now that I'm sitting here going to it, Judge would have to be ninth because his career is still ongoing. But I'm going to put him ahead of Aaron. This is just about what they did with the Yankees, right? So, not counting, like, for example, most of these guys, all they played was with the Yankees. But Reggie Jackson and A-Rod, they played other places. So, I would probably rank Judge ninth. Although you could probably argue, like I said, he's probably above Reggie. Probably have to put Reggie. If we're just talking about what they did in a Yankees uniform, you probably have to put Reggie ninth, Judge eighth. That's tough, man. Aaron Judge is a monster. So you're talking about Yogi Berra, Derek Jeter, because Mattingly, like I said, he was great while he was great, and then the injuries, he wasn't the same after that. So obviously he's not above Derek Jeter, but shoot, so he's not top five. There are some people who might even put him above Derek Jeter. Who knows? But just a sensational player. Like I said, it just sucks that that he's not in a different era. But he's a great player, and the Yankees are fighting for home field in the AL. We'll see if they get it. All right, so before I get out of here, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Podcast Network and to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network. You can also send feedback and mailbag questions to CompleteLakersPodcast at gmail.com. I am out.